mentioned throughout the semester, we know that human development in technology is unstoppable, and it's almost extraordinary. Things that recently we believed that to be impossible now are common in our everyday life. And we're faced with this new event that could be a great step for human innovation, the holograms and virtual reality. And you will say, how could a contract help us? Well, we don't have to focus on just the contract. This technology will provide many improvements in medicine, entertainment, and many other areas. Um, this new technology, for example, will help us talk and interact with people that have gone already. And this will help us like traumatic situations to fulfill them what you need. Okay, and this opens the moral debate. Is it really the same person we're talking to? Well, we must see this as an opportunity to help. And as Kant said, we must help whenever we can. That's the categorical imperative he mentioned. And nevertheless, we know progress is unstoppable. And taking this into account, society must find a way to see it for the right thing. Even if there are arguments against it, we must always progress and never stop the progress.
El dilemma
Just 1 minute, what the time? Could you tell me?
at 2:30.
Good.
The dilemma of this debate focuses on whether or not it is ethical to be virtually return people to life, even if they have the blessing of their loved ones. Someone take it as a tribute and others as a lack of respect. But beyond that, it is important to consider the legality of these virtual images. Throughout this debate, we will argue why it is not ethical to do it based on different philosophers, first such as Plato, Hegel, and Kant, and theories such as materialism. First of all, we need to define the meaning of ethical, and even there are different definitions because of the different philosophers. There is a universal meaning that defines it as the study of the moral and the human activities. Kant, for example, said that, define it as a human being, that human being has the ability of reasoning if something is good or bad. As Kant, there are many ways of understanding the return of the people to life that is not ethically correct, and we will explain throughout this debate. To defend our debate position, we have to take into account that the decision was taken by her parents to revive her through the hologram without knowing what she wanted.
Time?
1:35.
Left, right?
I know.
They use only 1/3.
Yes.
So let's start with arguments. Remember, you have 3 turns, 2.5 minutes.
Okay, so first off, for first argument, by not letting people be able to enjoy this experience, to like assess them for themselves, we're denying humanity a great step of achieving various things, and we are denying the opportunity of new and modern solutions. First off, I want to start with medical examples. With holograms, people could practice more realistic situations, which could be a better experience for doctors nowadays, because they can experience something of real life, like real life or death situations that they can not experience with like dolls or with like programs in computers. They're experiencing by hand. Then, after that, many people have traumas and they cannot get through it. So this is a great opportunity for them to like apologize or like talk to their loved ones if they couldn't, or like if they wanted to say something. So this is a great opportunity for them to finally get the relief, finally get that trauma off their heads, and finally cure themselves. Of course, entertainment isn't the main use for this kind of technologies, but it's always going to be present. So as we can see, it can be used for concerts, for some kind of experience. Maybe you could meet Mozart or something like that. It would be an incredible experience that could make us be more aware of the things that happened in the past, because you could talk to famous people, to very intelligent people, and they can be part of our modern days, and we don't have to let them go to waste by dying. And well, as Tabula Rasa states, if we are the ones that are getting the knowledge and our experiences, if our children experience this, they're gonna consider it as normal, so there would be no problem for them. So we gotta consider if it is really bad, if our children really consider it normal.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the first turn, the blue team that's against. Okay.
Okay, first of all, I want to introduce my philosopher. I'm gonna talk about Plato. For Plato, death is represented as the liberation of the soul. Okay, this means that when you die, your soul is no longer part of your body or physical existence. The liberation of your soul would be the change of the essence of a person, liberation of the world. Plato considered that life is simply the preparation to die. So reviving a body would alter this preparation and his meaning of death. Another philosopher important for this argument is Socrates. He said our soul is prisoner in our body. Socrates wasn't afraid of death because he knew that death was a key from freedom of the soul. These philosophers are the best way to explain that returning someone from death is not correct because we're not returning the same person. It has lost the essence. Technology has gone so far as to return a body in a hologram. Does not mean that it has reached the power to return the soul and the essence of a human being. In our perspective, is what matters, and for these philosophers, is what matters too.
Gene, that's it?
Yeah.
Time?
One more time.
Okay, so let's go to the second turn. 2 minutes and a half, please.
Okay, so it's undeniable that since the dawn of humanity we have been on search for the cure of death, right? And we have found solutions, whether it is religion, myth, or currently science, right? But now I ask you, what is death, okay? So Heidegger defines it as the moment that marks the end of the being that exists, right? He also says that once we are born, we are ready to die. And this means that death is a key part of our humanity, right? We come to a point where we accept that there's a moment we will die. Well, I tell you, there is another way to die. There is another point where we die that is not ceasing to exist. And it is the moment that remains of our existence, our essence, disappears. Since if our essence stops being perceived, well, we never existed, right? And that would be death. Now, there is something that solves this, transhumanism. Transhumanism is basically the theory that states that throughout scientific advancements, technology, we will be able to transcend humanity into something more, right? The next step of human evolution, right? These technological advances will help us immortalize ourselves through whatever means necessary. Take these holograms of Amy Winehouse, for example. Immortalizing her figure by being able to remember her memory, her concerts, her essence. This will all be thanks to these technological advancements. And I tell you, there is no real difference between listening to her music now that she has been dead for quite some years and going to now a concert. The difference is that
30 seconds.
we are accustomed to listening to music, but we are not accustomed to watching holograms of people, right? So, my conclusion is we should be open to this new stage of human life, right? Of life after death.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the second turn of the team that it's against. Good.
Okay, so it is very important that we take into consideration the relationship of master and slave. And Hegel says that humanity is defined by universal history, and throughout universal history, there has always existed the relationship of master and slave. And the master is imposed by the slave, and the way he does that is by denying his desires. In this case, the parents are the masters and Amy is the slave, because she didn't establish the desire of existence as an hologram. And in this case, Amy stops being an autonomous human, and the parents use her for their benefit. And indeed, the dialect of the master and the slave that Hegel establishes, he made us to favor an awareness. Today we continue to experience many types of slavery, and we consider this very important because she never wanted it.
Gustavo Bueno developed a system called philosophical materialism, which roughly says that we should not materialize people, we should see them as a good and not as an end. Because in materializing them, it becomes, well, in materializing Amy, it becomes in an end, because the parents are using her for getting fama, and as you use her as an end and not as a good, and you are using as their own good, can say that when they involve the thinking of their own well-being, that is not ethically correct. Gustavo told that when we lose our 30 essence, seconds. we are dead, and that's what we are talking about. That even the ways we can lose essence, we are dead. We should not revive through the hologram, because we don't know if she continue being her. Like, we are lying to the audience because it's not her.
Thank you very much. So let's go to the third turn. 2 minutes ahead.
Well, one of the main problems society has is that it's tired of being. This kind of technology, the post-mortem technology, will eventually lead to the control of life and death of the humans. The consciousness will remain, maybe not the body. But if this is the case, society will continue to search for, maybe will continue to search for the answers to the philosophical questions we have been since Plato, and there has been almost no progress in that. So leading this will be like an answer to why are we still here, paralyzation of the human being. As this is a tool to fix that, to answer that, we shall leave it be, let the development increase, and we may reach the highest possible state of the human mind. We could become the Superman Nietzsche mentioned. Like that will be better, and that's like why it's correct to leave these holograms, that society may accept them without intervene with the theological part of the society, we will be able to be better, to like the transhumanism will reach another state, and well, that is the correct way to think about this, that this should be lived and developed so that we can change our nowadays concept of what is life and reach its maximum state.
Is that all? Yes, Tim? Okay, so let's go to the third turn. 2 minutes and a half. Good.
Okay, so I'm recovering Nietzsche's ideas for my argument. The main value of this debate is keeping respect for other person. Still, what I'm going to say is a little bit harsh. What Nietzsche believes is that we have to seek for a real truth. Truth is fiction. People like the truth, but only the good consequence of it. So what would happen if we bring Amy Winehouse back? Yes, of course, we're bringing a great soul singer, but if we're speaking about the truth, we're also bringing a woman that died at 27 years old, that she had a problem with drugs and with excess. Why are we only wanting to recover the good part of the truth instead of recovering all? That's the main problem with transhumanism, that we're not taking into consideration what really is. We're trying to engage ourselves in a continuous life instead of facing the truth so that we can really make these big steps in life. So, as you said, I really won't take Nietzsche, the Superman example you did, based on your argument, but I think it's more like something of us. And also one thing that Nietzsche says is human intellect is so little compared with human nature that it has no purpose in the afterlife. So what is the truth? She's dead. She's not coming back. You want to bring her back? Okay, you have to ask if they want to bring her back the way she really was. Thank you.
So we have 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, but wait, is that all, Tim?
Yes.
Time?
1:45.
We have 3 minutes, right, for questions.
2 minutes
2 minutes
to
for-
create a conclusion, and then 4 minutes for the conclusion. Is that all right? To prepare the conclusion, you have 2 minutes.
Para la grabación.
No. Thanks. We have 4 minutes. Say your conclusion. Remember that we are not doing arguments anymore. So please be clear. And 4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, before anything, I'd like to answer a few observations. First, I think you've got a wrong concept of transhumanism. Transhumanism is general, right? So it looks to transcend us, humanity, as a whole. Every single aspect of humanity will cease to exist into something way better that we are not able to understand right now, right? And then, yes, we know that Amy Winehouse is dead, right? No one is negating that. However, her essence will live on. She may be dead, but she won't die. That's what we mean, right? So now going to what Pilar said. Yes, it is true that in this case she would be materialized for whatever means her family wanted, because she never specified she wanted to be revived. We would agree with you on that, okay? However, the essence that will be revived by her family, the essence revived should be the one that the person wants to, right? It will not be her real essence. It will not be the person that had some drug problems, true? But the essence she wants to maintain, and she has every right to do so.
Okay, so as you said, the body is the prison for the soul. So this postmortem technology be a way of liberating the soul, because it gets rid of the imperfection our body represents, because we are in need of water, we're in need of food. And of course, this new technology gives us the opportunity to grab the essence of the people, their minds, and get rid of part that, well, we would say it's not needed.
Well, as we said, technology is developing at an impressive rate these days, and the Amy Winehouse example is just a tiny part of it. But the answer is clear. We must accept the development of technology because it's something that cannot be stopped, and we must embrace it in order to truly develop ourselves. We can achieve what transhumanism and HJ expose, to become the revenge, to become something more than men. So we must not prohibit technology or stop development, but we must use it in the correct way.
Well, we want to thank our comrades for this debate. It was very good. Thank you.
That's it. Time?
2:41.
2:40. Thank you very much. 4 minutes.
For our conclusion, we want to remind you that the dilemma of this debate is if it's ethical or not to do it. And we want to start.
Well, thank you for your conclusions, but as you are, you agree with us with our arguments, we agree with our arguments. And we continue saying that it's not correct to lie to yourself and others about the essence of a person that you cannot bring back, because you cannot bring back with an hologram the essence of a person. And well, thank you for your participation, but we agree with our arguments.
We also think that you are giving us the good as saying that you think the hologram returns something that is her, but that doesn't show what really she was or is. It is not ethical to take decisions about her without knowing what she really wants to. Imagine she wants to rest in peace without reviving as a hologram.
Also, it is very important the part that we are materializing her as an object, and in this case, her parents are taking all the credit, all the benefit, and it is not only in this case, also for other purposes such as medicine that you mentioned, and we are materializing this person that are being revived as holograms. And just to complement this idea, I can say that if doing good involves thinking about your own well-being, then it is not ethically correct.
Also, we're talking if people can, if you can have a life dignity, then you also deserve to die with dignity. The freedom of technology stops when it violates the freedom of a person, either dead or alive. We must accept the truth. Bringing Amy Winehouse back, for example, is not about a redemption of herself. It's only bringing a copy of herself. You can't just bring the good things. You want to bring her back, you have to bring her back all the way she is.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if I have time to answer.
No.
No, you don't. Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So thank you very much